Beware.
The Dark Side of Hollywood, Part 14, The Collector of Hollywood, by the Prowler. I bring your attention to a man who doesn't have the talent, nor the personality, or dare I say, at the risk of sounding cruel, the looks, to achieve his dream of being a Hollywood star. He has been turned away by every talent scout, agent, casting director, producer, and studio in the business. His auditions are known throughout the industry as being comically bad, and he has caught wind of their mockery and laughter. His name is Charles Napier, and while you may be able to say he didn't have the talent to be able to act to save his own life, the one thing you couldn't say was that Charles was a dumb man. He quickly realized he didn't possess the talent required for acting, but he was still determined to make his mark on the Hollywood scene. So he came up with a clever enterprise. He was ahead of his time, really, and became a Hollywood procurer, if you will. He realized Hollywood stars were hard to get close to. They were simply unattainable to their endless amounts of fans, but cleverly deduced that the certain fan would pay top dollar for, let's say, an item that was quite personal to their favorite celebrity. So he set out and followed every notable celebrity, collecting whatever he could get his hands on. He followed them out to eat, to restaurants, to the grocery store, to work at the studio, out on filming location. He even would stake out their homes and steal their trash. Even a time or two breaking in and stealing some personal items. He always brought a camera with him to verify the item's authentication for said purchaser, usually posing as a member of the press to get close to the celebrity and to explain the need for the camera. He also had his own darkroom and equipment to develop the photos so he would not draw attention to his activities. He became known as the procurer of Hollywood fantasies, people who dreamt of getting as close as they could to their favorite actor or actress without touching them. Of course, what better way to get close to that favorite Hollywood legend than having something that personally belongs to them, or something they've actually handled? Charles was absolutely correct in his assumption when he originally started out on this venture, that he would make a fortune. And let me tell you, the funds are rolling in. Through word of mouth, his friendships with certain auctioneers at some of the big auction houses in the country, coded ads in the newspapers, and his connections to some unsavory characters in the underworld, he's able to supply his customers with these personal Hollywood collectibles through a black market auction, if you will. Some examples to show the lengths he will go to procure a client's wants and asks, and to show why he's the best at what he does. First, when the legend Marilyn Monroe died, he posed as a member of the coroner's office and made off with several items, mostly wardrobe items such as undergarments, lingerie, and the like, which he made a fortune on. One particular item that fetched the most money, however, were her prescription bottles that were on her nightstand. They went to a gentleman who lived in Washington, D.C. Charles thought it was an odd item to want, but hey, whatever makes the customer happy. Charles pulled off the same scheme when actor William Holden was found dead in his home, resulting from a drunken accident. He procured the glass that contained his final drink of alcohol before he fell and hit his head, and took a few other items in the home, clothing, and other trinkets. He waited a week outside the home of Ava Gardner and collected her trash on trash day. He's done that a lot, by the way. For some reason, certain clients just want things these celebrities have touched and used and have partially eaten on. Charles has even posed as waiters and busboys at restaurants to take away the plates of food of certain clients' favorite celebrities. He's been a busy boy as of late. He's gotten requests lately for intimate pictures of people's favorite movie stars around the house. Some tasteful requests of their favorite star, just doing ordinary mundane things around the home. But there have also been the more risque requests, such as nudie shots. Charles' motto, however, is to each their own. He does not discriminate or deny any request. Which brings me to why we're here for tonight's latest edition of The Dark Side of Hollywood. Charles is out on his latest request, and we should check in on him. See him in action, if you will. As you can see, he's perched in the tree, looking in on the master bedroom on the side of a very lavish-looking mansion located on Weeping Willows Lane, nestled in the Hollywood Hills. This is the third night Charles has been on a stakeout in front of the mansion. Originally, the client only wanted pictures of their favorite star, but then they asked for a few personal items. First off, we should start by telling you the mansion that Charles has been staking out for the past couple of nights belongs to the legendary actress Julie Lamont, who we've covered in a previous story. The items that were requested are a silk black robe that has an S and a D symbol embroidered on the left chest area, and some of Miss Lamont's skin creams and lotions, for she has been around for decades and never seems to age, so the client thinks it must be what's kept her looking youthful. We see Charles up in the tree waiting for the opportune moment to strike. He can see pretty much the entire grounds from where the tree is located. The front gate, all the way up the long winding driveway, the main house, which is large and sprawling, and the backyard, which consists of lavish manicured grounds, a swimming pool, and a large guest house. It seems, however, Charles has come on a busy night tonight, for up in his tree he sees black limousine after black limousine pull up the driveway. He has been watching Miss Lamont get ready for the past hour, but obviously it was not to go out, but to host guests. He watches as movie star after movie star exits their limousine and enters the mansion. Actor John Wayne, the screenwriter Ryan Rush, horror icon Vincent Price, bombshell Jane Mansfield, actor Burt Lancaster, and a plethora of other celebrities entered the mansion, and the strange thing that was noticed by Charles was that they all had a silk black robe draped over their arm. He then turned back and looked into the bedroom and noticed Miss Lamont was finished getting ready, and when she left, she didn't take her robe with her. He could see it hanging from her closet door. It was perfect, he thought. While she is busy downstairs hosting her party guests, he could sneak in and take the items. As soon as the lights turned off in the master bedroom, he descended the tree and made his way to the side of the house. He then quickly scaled the lattice attached to the side of the mansion and climbed all the way up to the window that led to the master bedroom. Once inside, he quickly gathered and bagged up all the beauty lotions and creams, then went for the robe. Right as he grabbed the sleeve of the robe, however, the lights turned on. Before he could say anything, though, he heard a voice whisper, "We've been expecting you. Welcome to the party." The room went black as he was struck over the head with a heavy object. When he came to, he was surrounded by all the celebrities he had seen enter the mansion earlier. They were all wearing their robes. He then looked over to Miss Lamont. She smiled at him as she slipped into her robe. "My butler has noticed you outside the house the past few nights. You thought you were sneaky, but you weren't good enough. I'm just glad I was correct in you trying to break in. And on tonight of all nights. How fortuitous for us. You see, we needed a sacrifice," she said, as she laughed sinisterly and looked around the room to her guests. As Charles continued to look about the room and survey his surroundings, he noticed he was sprawled out in the center of a pentagram, surrounded by candles. He knew he had made a mistake. He knew his time was up. Then they all pulled out a dagger, and it was lights out for old Charles. For he just had an encounter with a rumored Hollywood cult, the cult of the Silver Devil. He made a lucrative living and made a name for himself on the Hollywood scene by sneaking into famous people's lives and their homes. But be careful whose home you sneak into when that home is on the dark side of Hollywood. I would like to give a heartfelt thank you to the special friends of the channel for your overwhelming generosity. If you would like to support the channel, the link is below in the description. Also, please send me your stories and poems to duchessofdarkness27@gmail.com. You can also find me on Instagram at duchess.ofdarkness and Twitter at duchessofdarkn2. I want to thank all my listeners for your kindness, your encouragement, and your support. It means the world to me. Thank you for joining me. Until next time.